they had a good year.
And the basketball guys are a very big part of our team, and so we're trying to mesh back into a team and get into a little bit of a rhythm going, And so I think that once we get a couple things ironed out, I think we're going to be pretty solid.
All right. You feel the same way, Marshall?
It kind of feels like we've been playing with like half of our team. Like it feels like usually you come to every game, you kind of know what the lineup's going to be, you kind of know where you're going to play. Well, like coming into the first few games of the season, like nobody knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
So it's kind of good to have like the closure back of knowing your guys are beside you and knowing that you trust everybody on the field. So it's just like a good like mojo that we're going to bring, and I think it's just on up from here.
Regional champions for the basketball team. I'm going to make an assumption that that's one of the first goals of this baseball team coming into the season.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to do? What do you have to improve on from last year to this year to reach that goal?
I'd say that last year it was more of a we didn't focus inning to inning. It was more of we looked at it as a whole game concept, and we wouldn't really get going until the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. And you can't do that going up against guys that are, they're going to play in college, or these guys coming in, they're throwing mid-upper 80s. They can mix in 2 or 3 pitches, and you can't do that if you're really wanting to compete. I think that this year we have to look from one inning to the next. I mean, you have to win every inning. Coach Mayfield preaches it all the time, and Marshall would agree with me.
Yeah.
And last year we really didn't do that. I mean, we had some older guys, but we only had 1 or 2 seniors. And I think now that we've had 3 years under our belt because of COVID year anyway, we've got 3 years under our belt, and I think that if we can really put our heads together, we got it.
Do you feel like you've seen that trend in this early season?
I feel like we've seen a bunch of leaders like emerge.
Okay.
Kind of people that were like took a step back last year, and then now you kind of see them, they take that step ahead and be like just teaching the younger guys how we do things. We have a lot of different terminology from the middle school, and me and Brady know that for sure because we came up through the same system, and it's kind of a culture shock. So, the freshmen, they're learning. They're getting better. We got one of them playing. Chase, he's been pretty good this season. He's been solid this year. And I think just us being the leaders that we need to be puts this program in the right steps, just keeps it going.
What have you done to prepare yourself for this upcoming season, something that maybe at the end of last year you look back and says, I got to work on this or that? You as an individual?
Less strikeouts.
Less strikeouts.
You got to put the ball in play.
Right.
You can't get on if you don't swing.
I get it. Very good. How about you, Brady? What did you feel you needed to work on coming into this season?
I would say that basically my whole mindset. I kind of had to switch it around. See, last year being my junior year, I wanted to go out there and I wanted to have fun no matter what. There always has to be that image of fun when you're playing baseball, because then why are you playing it?
Right.
But this being my senior year and this being such a high potential year, I had to flip around my mindset and say, okay, we can have fun, absolutely. But what's fun? Winning is fun.
Winning is fun.
Winning is fun.
Absolutely.
So I had to flip around my mindset and say, man, we've got all the tools. We've just got to figure out how to use those tools to be able to win.
Yeah.
You guys touched on something, I think, when you talked about taking each inning as an individual, and I think baseball breaks down even further than that. Each at bat, each plate appearance, each time you get a ball hit to you or you pitch or throw. That's the great thing about baseball. What a lot of people don't understand about the game is that failure in the game of baseball overall is a norm.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm an airline pilot and I'm 33% at landing my plane safely, I'm probably not going to be an airline pilot long.
Yeah.
But if I'm hitting 333, I'm a pretty doggone good
baseball player.
Yeah.
How do and I'll go to you first, Brady. How do you overcome that mindset, when you're like, okay, something bad happened at the plate, didn't get the result I wanted. How do you overcome that? What's your mind like? I'm trying to dive in deep. What does Brady Kane think?
So I honestly don't even think it's necessarily how you overcome it. It's just how you look the other way. Okay, it's always going to be there. Every single time you strike out, every single time you make a bad throw, it's going to be there. No matter how mentally tough you are, no matter how this, that, and the other, you just have to be able to look the other way and say, okay, this is a game of absolute failure. It's going to happen. Does not matter what you do, how good you are, it's going to happen. Okay, you just have to look the other way and say, well, guess what? I get to swing again in 20 seconds.
That's an awesome thought right there. I like that. Marshall, about you. You said you really wanted to improve, reduce your strikeout numbers. How do you go about in the day-to-day or the play-to-play, dealing with, say when something bad happens, but you got to overcome it?
Confidence. It all starts with confidence.
Yeah.
You got to know that you're going to hit this next pitch. If you swing through a curveball, fastball's coming. Hit the fastball. It's just you gotta Coach Gomer, he says a lot about adjusting pitch to pitch, and I've kind of taken that in, and I'm like, I kind of get what you're saying now. It's kind of clicking. You adjust pitch to pitch. You adjust your mindset pitch to pitch. 2 strikes, you got to put it in play. So that's an adjustment from 1-1 to 1-2 or 2-2 to. You just got to adjust pitch to pitch, and you got to have confidence that you're on the field, you're the guy, and you get to hit.
I know, especially on the defensive end, maybe something happens, you boot one, you make an error. A lot of times from the booth, I'll make a mention. I'll say, well, he's got to get himself a quick case of amnesia. Got to forget about it, and that's just what you said. I said, it's amnesia time. Forget about it and play for the next play. But thank you. I appreciate your insight on that. Now, something really serious I need to know is if you your last meal's coming up. They tell you you're never going to get to eat again. What are you going to eat on that last meal? What's the thing that you would just absolutely love to eat?
Oh man, this is tough. I'm a big food guy.
Okay. So
this is.
In case you didn't know.
This is
In case
tough.
you couldn't tell. There's
Marshall's
of donuts packed
He's
away.
over there sweating. He's like,
I know, this
golly.
is a tough decision.
Yeah.
I'm a really big chicken guy.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't. I love buffalo wings, but I probably wouldn't say that as my last meal. I would say probably like a chicken V special from like Casa, or like shredded chicken. You can get like teriyaki sauce, or you can get just cheese sauce on top. I feel like that would be my.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody hands you $1,000 and says, "Go get whatever you want to eat." What are you gonna have?
Lord, here's the thing. Okay. I like eating out. I get it. Okay, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pocket that $1,000.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to get my grandfather to cook me up a filet on the grill, and I'm going to have my grandma from the other side of the family bring me some macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to eat that.
I remember that about you, the mac and cheese thing.
Listen, my grandmother's mac and cheese is to die for. He's
rabbit.
eating it, and he knows.
Yeah.
And it
Will
was
it make
cold.
make
the
a
day
rabbit
they had
slap
it.
a
It was
hound
cold.
dog?
I had it the day after.
Yeah.
I went over to his house and had it the day after, and it was still good. And I'm not a mac and cheese guy at all. And it was good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
One other question for you. Coach Mayfield seems like such a quiet, calm, collected guy. Does he ever get excited on the baseball field, practice or games?
You're giving me like flashbacks from like last night. Here's the thing. Coach Mayfield and after, so we lost last night, and after the game, he told us something that kind of stuck with me that I'd never heard him say before. He said, he's very slow to anger on the baseball field. He will not get worked up too much.
Okay.
But he said, when you make mistakes, that I've seen you make the play every single day. He said that just it pulls his trigger more than anything.
Yeah, he said that was his biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, he's
It's a
very,
play he knows you can make and
Yeah.
should have made.
He's quiet. He won't say too much. He'll coach you when you need to be coached. But, a lot of times he'll just sit and he'll let you play your game until your game needs help.
Okay.
But as soon as you start making those mistakes that he's looked at me for 3 years and been like, man, he can this, that, and the other, and he's missing every single one of them, you know.
Anything else you can share with me about Coach Mayfield? Give me
Well-
something juicy I can use in the press box.
Well, one of my favorite things that he does is, if I'm saying consistent and, Chance, honestly, Chance, he lives around the zone and he gets the worst of it, I tell you. If there's a close pitch, he'll just turn around and he'll kind of, take a deep breath and he thinks it's a strike and the umpire don't and Mayfield will, great spot! Great spot! He'll start screaming. That's one of my favorite things that he does. That's when he gets real fired up. And then the most fired up I've ever seen him was our sophomore year after we beat Somerset in the district title. I mean, we weren't even supposed to be in the championship game when we ended up beating them. Oh, my goodness. When we won that game, he was out there almost before I got to the pitcher's mound from first base. I mean, he was out of the dugout.
Yeah.
It's just little things that we know as seniors, the freshmen, little things kind of fire them up. But also, I mean, I couldn't have it any other way,
Okay. That's what I was going to – my last question. I've got a young grandson who's playing 7th grade baseball at Northern and looking forward to becoming a high school baseball player. What can I go home and tell him? I said, hey, I heard a couple of guys said this is what you need to know about Coach Mayfield. Or being a part of this baseball team.
Being a part of this baseball team, and I will say being a part of this baseball team with Coach Mayfield, Coach Mayfield is going to respect you if you show up every day and you work your hardest.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't matter if you are bad at baseball. Okay, if you show up and you actually you're saying, hey, I'm going to show up and put in the work, he is going to respect you. And you know what? You might become a valuable part of the team at some point. And so he's going to do everything he can to improve your game if you're putting the same amount into it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Any other words of advice from my grandson?
Listen to him. He gets real mad if you don't listen to him. That goes for everybody too. Some of the newer guys, they're hesitant to listen to us. Just listen to the peers, listen to your peers, listen to your coaches. Most of the time, we're trying to help you. Sometimes we may get you a little joke. We told one of the freshmen this year to get the curveballs. He couldn't find them, obviously, because they don't exist. But
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's a little running joke, but
it's kind of like the guy who he's with the. Works with a welder, and he's the spark catcher. You give him a bucket. And you say,
he's
catch the sparks.
He's
on the
spark catcher.
On the football team, we used to pick out one freshman and ask him to go find the goalpost key because there was something in the goalpost that we needed, and he'd go around asking all the coaches. And
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate you taking time to visit with me. I hope you have the best of luck. Look forward to seeing you on the baseball field this year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes, sir.
take care.
Absolutely.
All right, that is Brady Kane, Marshall Livesey, Pulaski County baseball team. Joined now by Connor Denny on my right, Aiden Wesley here to my left, a couple members of the Pulaski County boys baseball team. And first of all, guys, I know you got to be excited. A new season, you've already begun. Got a few games under your belt. Are things going the way you had hoped so far?
I
like how you look at each other. It's okay.
Not exactly. 3-3 is not exactly the way you want to start off your year, especially whenever you should be 5-1 or 6-0. But it's kind of what we got right now, so we're gonna have to take it and just keep building off of it and get better as a team and as a unit. So.
What about you, Aiden? Your season started off how?
I'd agree with Connor. I mean, not really what we hoped for. I mean, we have high expectations for ourselves because we're a very old team. We're older, got a lot of juniors, seniors on the team, and we're preseason ranked number 1 in the region, all that good stuff. Got a lot of returning starters, and really we've just beat ourselves. The games that we've lost, we've error after error. Nobody's really seeing the ball well right now, so I think once all that stuff comes together, we just got our basketball guys back, so when all that stuff comes together, I think we'll be a different ball team.
That was something I spoke earlier with Brady and Marshall. That was something they mentioned was the basketball team not being on the baseball field. But you got to love the energy that those guys have brought from a highly successful basketball season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anytime you win a region, it's something to celebrate. So, I mean, just, congrats and hats off to those guys. And they really set us up right as far as momentum and stuff going. And So we just look to build off of it and maybe get a baseball region this year too. So
these are early games, things you can look at back. You may get a matchup, a rematch later on, and I dare say you guys really believe you'll be even a better team, later in the season. Aiden, every year you look to improve. Every game you look to improve. In the season though, what have you done specifically yourself to get better for this season?
Me personally, I had shoulder surgery a couple years ago from football, so I can't throw the ball, but I've been working on that, hopefully trying to get some play first base a little bit this year. But in the batting side of it, I've really worked on the center field to right field, hitting in that gap more, just taking the ball up the middle, stuff like that, just working on small stuff like that, just making contact with the ball. Usually I've always swung for the fences, trying to go deep and stuff, but more or less this year I'm just trying to make contact with the ball, base hits. If the home runs come, they come.
You just said a word that I think is really important. You said the small stuff.
Yeah.
But those small details can help create big at-bats, big
Definitely.
innings, and play into big games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Attention to detail. Your head coach, Coach Mayfield, is he a stickler for those details?
Big time. Coach Mayfield preaches, and we've really come to learn how true those things are with these 3 losses that we have. Like last night, we took a tough loss to Garrett County. We had a lot of errors, couldn't hit the ball, and he really said, the small things that we talk about in practice, you don't realize how much they contribute to the game until, oh crap, here it is, and you not knowing where to go with the ball in situations and not being able to contribute or get down a bunt when needed, stuff like that. It's just that, it really does make the difference in the game.
Fantastic. Connor, what about you? What have you done to get yourself better for this upcoming season?
Well, I've just been mainly taking a lot of tee work, and I'm really starting to see the ball kind of pop off the bat a little more. So definitely looking forward to getting some more at-bats. And then the other thing is my arm strength, just working on my arm strength from the outfield. So definitely important to be able to, throw guys out on the base paths. So I've been trying to strengthen my arm up and get it up to par. So
I need a story about Coach Mayfield, something that I can use in the press box. When I'm broadcasting a game, a baseball game, sometimes you get a law. I need a story. You got anything that I can share with the fans? He'll never hear about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's what I'm worried about. What about you? What about you, Big A?
I'm trying to think here. Coach Mayfield's pretty, he's done – not many stories can be told about Coach Mayfield.
He's he flies under the radar quite a bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't really go noticed as much as he goes unnoticed. I'd say one of the main things I really like about him though is like on a bad call or something in the field, he'll march out the dugout, and a lot of times he won't even call time after he crosses the foul line to the umpire. He'll just start walking, and there's no stopping him. He's on a mission. He's a man on a mission.
And technically, the ball's still alive.
Oh yeah, the ball will
Awesome.
still be alive.
Awesome.
And I love standing out in the outfield and telling my center fielder Brady that you just had on. I'll be like, well, here comes Mayfield.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take a knee for a minute. He's on a mission. So
Very good, very good. All right. One last question for you.
Okay.
All right, I love to. I'm an eater. Okay, I love to eat good food.
Yeah.
And I want to know what's your go-to food. What is the one thing that if they told you this was the last meal you ever get, I'm going to give you $1,000. You can spend all that $1,000 on it. What are we having?
I'm a big snacker. I don't like eat meals a lot. Like at school, I'll usually skip lunch and just get a snack from our store. I'd probably go with Cheez-Its, M&M's, and a Diet Pepsi.
Sounds good. Be careful.
Phenomenal.
Because this is what that sort of diet will
Yeah.
build in the long
Yeah.
run. You're young now.
Yeah.
Know that if you
Yeah.
continue
Yeah.
that, it's going to. All right. Connor, what about you?
I don't know.
You're
I
a big,
like the
big meatball sub guy, aren't you?
Are you?
yeah. I like a Subway sandwich.
Meatball?
Yeah, I usually
What,
go.
what do you like on it? Cheese.
Yeah, cheese and really the
Just
meatball.
straight up?
I mean the meatballs
peppers,
do everything
onions?
else. No.
Oh,
I mean honestly, the meatballs do everything else. And
Okay. Well, I call
And
my
then,
meatball sub the big stinky because it's got onions, peppers,
The big
black
stinky.
olives.
Oh yeah. But no, for real, I'm a big meatball sub guy. I really can dig into a meatball sub pregame and then have a little Mountain Dew to wash it down. That's kind of my go-to
You
right
can't
now.
pick Subway, okay? But anywhere in the world, if you had a meatball sub that you just said that was the best meatball sub I've ever eaten in my life, I can't wait to get another one.
I ate a meatball sub in Savannah, Georgia, last year. I was down there for a I don't know why Aiden's laughing at me, but I ate a meatball sub last year in Savannah, Georgia. I was at a dance competition for my sister, and best meatball sub I've ever had. So I'm
Looking to go back?
Oh yeah, I would definitely go
you
back.
need to get your sister to go back to a
Oh
dance
yeah,
competition?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I've seriously considered buying a plane ticket just to go eat that sub again. I mean, it was that good.
Do either of you guys know the On Top of Spaghetti song?
The On Top of Spaghetti song?
Okay. You need to learn it and sing it to him because it's all about the meatball that rolls off the top of the spaghetti and onto the floor.
We've got a friend who would love that song.
Meatball.
No. Okay. Well, that's
my favorite song at the moment.
Just on
it's just
top
kind of a
of
tune.
spaghetti, all covered with cheese.
Okay.
I lost my poor meatball. Okay.
Well, can you give us a little preview? Can you sing?
That was no. And
Preview enough.
I refuse to sing when it's being recorded.
That's understandable.
Well, you got to give me a preview so I can be able to find the song.
It's called On Top of Spaghetti.
Okay.
All covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed.
Okay.
It rolled off the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball rolled out the door.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
I love that. Yeah.
So every time that'll be your theme song. Every time you order a meatball sandwich, that guy right there on the camera.
Mr. Kerr?
No, Pat Harris. Right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
He knows that song word for word.
Okay.
Well, maybe I can
teach it to you
I can get
sometime.
him to sing it to me.
He
then.
might. He probably would.
I got a little jingle whenever I'm about to dig in. I go meatball.
He does do that.
I do that, don't I?
That's awesome.
It's
All right. What about you? Do you ever give us the? It ain't easy being cheesy with the Cheetos.
I